In today's world, with Instagram, dating apps, and endless social media attention, a woman can have more men chasing her in a single week than your grandfather saw in his entire youth. The brutal truth? You're probably not competing with just one guy. You're competing with dozens. And in this game, being the nice guy isn't a strategy. It's a ticket to the friend zone. Here's the uncomfortable reality most men avoid. Women rarely choose the man who's just good enough. They choose the man who stands out, the one who makes her feel something she can't explain, the one who triggers emotions so deeply that other men suddenly feel invisible. And here's where most guys fail. They try to win her over by doing more, giving more, and pleasing more, all while she's texting another man who doesn't even try half as hard. If you want a woman to choose you over every other option, you have to stop thinking like a competitor and start thinking like the prize. You need to understand female psychology, not the fairy tale version they tell you in movies, but the real raw truth about attraction, respect, and desire. This isn't about manipulation. It's about mastering the qualities that naturally make a woman want to invest in you. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to shift her focus, her energy, and her desire toward you, even if she's surrounded by men who seem better on paper. By the end, you won't just know what makes a woman choose. You'll know how to make her feel she has no other choice. 1. Stop competing with other men. Most men lose a woman's interest not because they're unattractive, but because they fall into the trap of competition. The moment you start comparing yourself to other men, adjusting your behavior to outperform them, you've already lost. Why? Because it signals insecurity. It shows her you see other men as better or as threats, and nothing kills attraction faster than a man who doesn't believe in his own value. Here's the thing. When you compete, you're automatically placing her on a pedestal and yourself beneath her decision-making. You're basically saying, "I'm one of many. Please pick me." That mindset turns you into just another face in the crowd. The men women truly choose aren't the ones running in the race. They're the ones who look like they don't even know a race exists. They're too focused on their own lives, their own goals, and their own growth to be concerned with who else is texting her. And that's exactly what makes them magnetic. When you remove yourself from the competition, you create mystery and scarcity. She starts wondering why you're not bending over backward like the rest. That curiosity plants a seed. What's different about him? And from that moment, she's chasing you, not the other way around. Imagine you know she's also talking to 2 other guys. Instead of sending her good morning texts every single day like they do, you focus on your work, your gym, and your hobbies. When you do text, it's with purpose and energy, not just to fill space. You might go 2 days without messaging her, then invite her to join you for something you were already planning to do. You're not acting cold. You're just not competing. That behavior signals that your life is full, and she'll feel the need to prove she's worth a spot in it. The man who doesn't compete becomes the man she's most curious about. And curiosity is the first step toward choosing you. 2. Be the prize, not the pursuer. Most men grow up believing that winning a woman means chasing her, proving themselves, and constantly showing her why she should choose them. But in reality, the men women value most are the ones who flip that script. They don't chase, they make her chase. They see themselves as the prize, and women respond to that energy instinctively. When you see yourself as the prize, you stop acting desperate. You stop over-investing too early. You stop measuring your worth by how much attention she gives you. Instead, you let her see that you are the one who brings value into her life. And this isn't about arrogance, it's about mindset. If you treat yourself like you're rare and worth pursuing, she'll feel it. Think about it. Expensive brands don't beg you to buy their products. They know their worth. They know people will line up for them. That same energy is exactly how you should carry yourself with women. When she senses that your time, Attention and presence are not handed out easily. She starts to value them more. The difference between the pursuer and the prize is simple. The pursuer tries to prove he's worthy. The prize makes her prove she's worthy. This subtle shift changes everything. It forces her to invest emotionally, and once she invests, she's far less likely to walk away. Instead of being the guy who always initiates plans, flips his schedule upside down for her, and tries to earn her affection, you set your terms. You invite her into your world. Maybe you tell her, "I'm going to this art show Friday. Join me if you want." You're not asking, you're offering her a chance to be part of something you're already doing. That confidence shows you're the one with the life she wants to be a part of. 3. Control your emotional availability. One of the quickest ways to lose a woman's attraction is to give her unlimited emotional access too soon. Most men think being always there shows commitment, but in reality, it often kills desire. Why? Because when something is always available, it stops feeling valuable. Think about the times you've been truly excited about someone. It wasn't because you could reach them 24/7. It was because there was just enough space to make you wonder what they were doing, who they were with, and when you'd hear from them next. That mystery fuels interest. The problem is, a lot of men open the emotional floodgates from day one. They text all day, call every night, and share every detail about their feelings and their lives without letting anything build naturally. At first, it feels good. She's laughing at your jokes, replying fast, and showing interest. But over time, she starts to feel like she's already figured you out, and the excitement fades. Controlled emotional availability is about balance. You're not cold or distant. You're just not handing over all your time, energy, and emotional support without her earning it. You share pieces of yourself slowly, letting her want to know more. You don't let every conversation turn into a deep emotional download. When you control your emotional availability, you're telling her, without words, that your emotional energy is valuable, and that not just anyone gets it. That scarcity makes her value it more. If you want her to choose you over the competition, she needs to feel like earning your emotional side is a privilege. Because the men who give everything too soon are the same men she takes for granted. The man who paces it is the one she can't stop thinking about. 4. Never be too accessible. Here's a truth most men don't want to hear. Being too available is not attractive. It might feel like you're showing her how much you care, but in reality, it sends a very different message. It tells her you have nothing better going on in your life. Think about it. If every time she calls, you answer on the first ring. If every time she texts, you drop everything to reply instantly. If every time she's free, you're magically free too. It doesn't make you look committed. It makes you look desperate. It shows her you're not in demand anywhere else. Part of attraction is the perception of value. People value what's scarce, and they take for granted what's always there. When you're too accessible, you strip away the excitement of earning your time. There's no chase, no challenge, no sense that being with you is special. This doesn't mean you should play childish games or ignore her on purpose. It means you should have a life so full, work, hobbies, friends, personal goals, that you're naturally not available every second she reaches out. When she does get your attention, it should feel intentional, not automatic. Women are drawn to men who seem like they have options, a purpose, and a life beyond the relationship. When you're busy and selective with your time, it tells her that being with you is a privilege, not a default. If you want her to choose you, don't make yourself the easiest option. Make yourself the most valuable one. And value is built when your presence is earned, not handed out like it's unlimited. 5. Create subtle jealousy. Most men are terrified of jealousy. They think if a woman feels even a hint of it, she'll get angry and walk away. But here's the truth. When done subtly, Jealousy can spark attraction like nothing else. It reminds her that you're in demand, that other women notice you, and that she's not the only one who could have you. Here's the problem. Too many men act like they're invisible to other women once they start liking one. They shut off their natural charm, stop talking to other women, and basically put themselves on an emotional leash. This is where I'm going to be blunt. Stop doing that. You're killing your own appeal. Women are attracted to men other women want. It's human nature. If nobody else wants you, she'll eventually start asking herself why she does. That's not manipulation, that's psychology. Creating subtle jealousy doesn't mean flirting in her face or being disrespectful. It means living in a way that naturally shows you're valued by others. Maybe you're just friendly with the waitress. Maybe you post a photo at a social event where you're clearly having a good time. These are tiny signals that you're socially desired, and they trigger a woman's competitive side. Men, wake up. If you make yourself look like her only option, you make yourself look replaceable. The reality is, attraction thrives on tension, and a little bit of jealousy keeps her on her toes. If she knows other women notice you, she'll fight harder to keep your attention. Remember this: a man who's wanted by others doesn't need to beg for a woman's time. She'll choose him because she knows if she doesn't, someone else will. 6. Show you have other options. One of the biggest mistakes men make is acting like they have no choice but to be with her. From the moment they meet a woman they like, they lock in and behave as if she's their only shot at love, happiness, or intimacy. This mindset kills attraction instantly. Why? Because it tells her you're not wanted by anyone else. Men, here's the harsh truth. You should never make a woman feel like she's your only option. Not because you want to play games, but because you need to actually have a life that gives you options. If she's the only woman who will give you attention, you're not coming from abundance, you're coming from desperation. And women can smell desperation a mile away. When you have options, whether it's dating, friendships, business opportunities, or social circles, you carry yourself differently. You don't cling. You don't overreact if she takes a little longer to reply. You don't panic if she's busy one weekend. Instead, you stay calm, confident, and in control because your happiness isn't tied to one person. The truth is, women are more drawn to men who seem like they could walk away at any time, not because they want them to, but because it shows strength, self-worth, and demand. And here's where many men need to wake up. If you've cut off every other woman in your life just to focus on one, you've made yourself too easy. She doesn't have to work for you because she already has you. Having options isn't about being disrespectful. It's about maintaining a life so full that she knows she's part of something valuable. When she sees that you could be with other people, but still choose her, that's when she values you most. Finally, and most importantly, be willing to walk away. If there's one thing that instantly changes how a woman sees you, it's this: being willing to walk away. Most men can't do it. They stay even when they're disrespected, undervalued, or treated like an afterthought. They think holding on proves loyalty, but in reality, it only proves weakness. Men, listen carefully. If a woman knows you'll stick around no matter what, she has no reason to treat you better. Why would she? There's no consequence for bad behavior. The men women respect are the ones who set clear boundaries and enforce them, even if it means losing her. Walking away doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care about yourself enough not to settle for less than you deserve. It shows self-respect, and self-respect is magnetic. The man who can say, "I'm not okay with this and I'm prepared to leave if it doesn't change," is the man who earns her respect, and respect always comes before lasting attraction. Here's where most men need to wake up. If you're afraid of losing her, you've already lost your power. The moment you start acting like she's the only woman on earth, she stops seeing you as the man she was drawn to in the first place. The ability to walk away is the ultimate leverage. It tells her